Alright, here we are again. We're on the old road to St. George out of Littlefield, Arizona, I believe it is. Anyway, this is the mouth of the Virgin River Gorge. Got a vehicle coming. It's pretty amazing. It's just incredible when you're approaching it from the angle of the freeway. You can't even see where the road's going to go. But this is it. You can see maybe in the distance a little shimmering objects at the base going in and out. Those are the cars on the highway. And you see the V-shaped angle to it. And in the background, what's really interesting is that's the plateau I was on yesterday. That's the northernmost end. If you go further south, it rises higher and higher. And that's the material that would have been flowing over the top of the ridgeline here of the Virgin Mountains. So as you can see, I think that I'd have to check, but we're talking roughly about 5,000 feet, 5,000 to 6,000 feet that the plateau in the background is, and you can see the level layers there, and that the layers of the gorge are pushed about a 45-60 degree angle to the vertical, or from the horizontal to vertical. And in the middle you can see how one block broke and is tilted at a completely different angle, and the rock of the Virgin Mountains is wholly completely different. And I'm not a geologist, I don't know what, but wait for this guy. But it's obvious even to a person such as myself who's not educated in rock formation geology that it's completely different. It's not the same. It's very porous, very broken. And it just has a look of being old, really old, compared to the sediment erosion you see. A lot of traffic today on this road. Anyway, it's just a different type of look than what you see typically throughout the Southwest. Some of the more sedimentary layer erosion, which leads me to believe it's a much older layer down lower that got pushed up by some event, and then later on, so this was pre-existing, and then later on this other flow came through and settled out in layers as well. And it wouldn't surprise me if that's just a natural way of things when you've got flow, that it tends to layer, and look like sediment, but really it was all one big huge giant flow that kind of organized itself into these layers according to perhaps their density and whatnot. There could be other factors involved too, being that it was a viscous flow, in motion. Alright, well, we'll just pan a little bit so you get an idea here what we're talking about. That's the mouth, and that area there is the only place where you can see off to the east, the other newer sedimentary flow off to the east. So we'll just do a quick, damn it, I gotta work this tripod in so it's a little smoother as you pan. And I'm thinking, the flow could have even topped these mountains over here. I'm not excluding that possibility. And we come around, we see the road. And it's quite an expensive. I'll give you a shot. Hello, world. It's quite an expansive field of sediment. Everything in the foreground, everything the road's on is came from eastern Utah, northern Arizona, western Colorado, even parts of New Mexico. Tripod's not quite level, so let me adjust as I go. And this is just maybe a couple percent of the remaining leftovers that we can see. And we'll go do a full 360. We'll get the cab of my truck here in a second. Now we're starting to pick up the Virgin Mountains on the southern end. And now we're looking the opposite direction of the road. I guess we're over the top. There's the hood of my top of my truck. Just so you get some perspective. Now we're looking opposite direction of the road we were before. There's the telephone poles, power poles. And there's the Virgin Mountains coming around again. And there we have Mount Bangs, where I was trying to get to yesterday, but that's a really rough road, I'll tell you. Black rock was good enough. And look at these rocks here. Almost vertical. In fact, they may be vertical. Lawbreaker. Riding a quad on a highway. Alright. Pretty incredible. The rocks, that is. And we'll finish panning our 360. So we're back at the mouth of the gorge again. Now from here you can see the plateau in the background maybe a little better. That broken block of the old Virgin Mountain material is not so easy to see. Maybe not, I don't know, I'll know later when I look at this on video. Well, we'll zoom in again. Try to get all that.